exploration is complicated, scientists have poured countless research hours into destinations beyond the Earth's atmosphere. Aerospace engineer Pablo de Leòn is here to talk about a specific space technology he is working on. Well, thank you for being on the show today, Pablo.
Well, it's a pleasure to be here.
Tell me, what really took off for you the interest to go into space studies?
Well, I have been working with space for many years. It has been an interest since I was a kid. You know, I couldn't imagine myself to do anything else that working in space. To me, is the most interesting thing I can be doing today. So I'm very happy to be able to work on this.
Well, you don't have the average 9-to-5 job. What is it that you tell people you do?
Yeah, sometimes it's difficult to say, but my main area of expertise is designing spacesuits, and I have been developing advanced spacesuits for NASA for more than 20 years.
Mm-hmm. Well, now tell me, what is the function of the spacesuit?
Well, the spacesuit protects the astronaut from the hostile conditions of space, mainly vacuum, lack of course, pressure, provides oxygen. What we're seeing there is the NDX-2, which is one of our developments, is a lunar prototype spacesuit. Between other things, you have to provide a atmosphere that will protect the astronauts. It also provides temperature regulation and, of course, many other things. So it is your small, private, personalized spacecraft.
Well, over there, it looks fairly heavy. Tell me, how much does it weigh?
Well, in space, it doesn't weigh anything, but it depends. It depends. For example, on Mars, you have about 1/3 of the gravity of the Earth. So it's roughly, in the case of the NDX-2, it will be 15 pounds or so. Mm-hmm. So it depends. In the case of the Moon, you have 1/6 of the gravity. So it depends of the environment. Sometimes you have to develop suits that are very lightweight. For example, we have one of our prototypes, the NDX-1, has been designed for Mars, and you have to build a very lightweight suit in order to be able to cope with the gravity and be able to do the same things you are supposed to do on Earth with the spacesuit. So,
how long does the process take to get an astronaut inside the suit?
It depends of the suit, but it can be up to 1 hour. Sometimes, yes, that's once that you're trained in the system, it takes less time, 20 minutes it can be. But yeah, it's a very complex process. Yeah.
What is the global test program that the spacesuit is being involved in?
Well, just recently, there is an annual event called the World Space Week that takes place on many countries. And just a few days ago, we were invited to take to do a spacesuit simulation that took place in Austria and France, Utah, and here in Grand Forks. So what we try to do is to test different prototype spacesuits that will be in the future used on Mars, lunar and Mars exploration.
Well, to lead on to that question, how do you test this? I believe it's called analog testing.
Yes, what we do is we work on analog environments. Analog environments are environments that, of course, don't fully mimic the environment of another planet, but then we are able to test the tools and experiments that will be done one day on the Moon and Mars. And here we are specializing what is called planetary spacesuits. These are suits that will be used on planetary surfaces, such Moon or Mars. So we are trying to build them in a way that they will be easy to service and to maintain on another planet.
Well, how do you really create a spacesuit that can sustain human life? Because not a lot of people have been to Mars. How do you know the proper conditions to make a spacesuit like that?
Well, we have been sending robotic spacecrafts to Mars since 1976, and so we have a fairly good idea of what is the composition of Mars and what are the different things that we're going to find there. Of course, sometimes you have to work with things that you don't know. There are some, for example, the suits that were developed for the Moon during the Apollo program in the 60s were developed without no one ever been to the Moon, but it's, you know, it's part of the treat. You are designing something for a tiny bit of unknown. And from the science standpoint, you try that unknown is as small as possible, but there is still a factor of we don't know.
Well, one last question. What is the amazing part of this for you? That say you get to work with astronauts every single day.
Well, it's great to me. Working in space is just amazing. It's, as I said before, one of the most interesting things that I can see that I can be involved today, and I really believe space is the new frontier. Is right now providing a lot of benefits to our daily lives, and I think in the future will be even more important.
All right. Well, I wish you all the luck on your project as it takes off.
Thank you. Thank you very much.